Hey, I went to the wiki of Corruption of Champions, and it seems as though you cannot get the story arc I was trying to get, where you're getting the fencing ability, if you have any male genitalia. Which I guess is fair enough. There are plenty of story arcs that you need male genitalia to have, and so yeah, I'm probably going to start a new game, and I'll be doing a bit of grinding too. So I'll follow along the story arc I was going, and when something new comes along, I'll start recording. Hey, I started a new game, and I opted to be a fighter instead of a whore. And so you begin the quest as a virgin, and you get a different wall of text if you try to have sex with the imp as a virgin. So I'll read that now. You shed your comfortable clothes without a thought and approach the masturbating imp, looming over him menacingly. Your virgin pussy moistens in anticipation as you gaze down upon his splendid rod. With no hesitation, you lower yourself till your lips are spread wide by his demon head, the hot pre-cum tingling deliciously. You frown as you push against him, but his demonic tool is too large for your virgin cunt. With a sigh, you shift position and begin grinding your virgin fuckhole against his shaft, coating it with fluids of your gender. Your clit tingles wonderfully as it bumps against every vein on his thick appendage. You happily tug and pinch on your erect nipples, adding to your pleasure and nearly driving yourself to orgasm. You lose track of time as you languidly pump against the imp shaft. At long last, you feel your virgin fuckhole ripple and quiver. Your legs give out as you lose your muscle control and collapse against the small demon. You gasp as his cock erupts against you, splattering your chest with hot demonic cum that rapidly soaks into your skin. You giggle as you rise up from the exhausted imp, feeling totally satisfied. You grab 8 gems and 10 experience from your victory. There's an incubi daft on your defeated opponent. You place the incubi daft in your first pouch. Okay? Hey, I'm still grinding, but while I went to explore the desert, I got a one-time event, so I thought I'd read it. While wandering in the trackless sands of the desert, you break the silent monotony with a loud thunk. You look down and realize you're standing on the lid of an old chest, somehow intact and buried in the sand. Overcome with curiosity, you dig it out, only to discover that it's empty. It would make a nice addition to your campsite. You decide to bring it back to your campsite. You now have 6 storage item slots at camp. That's actually one of the requirements for Raphael, but yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm still exploring the desert, but another relevant event occurs, so I'm going to read it. The merciless desert sands grind uncomfortably under your feet as you walk the dunes, searching the trackless sands to uncover their mysteries. All of a sudden, you can see the outline of a small city in the distance, ringed with sandstone walls. Strangely, it wasn't there a few moments before. It's probably just a mirage brought on by the heat. Then again, you don't have any specific direction you're heading. What could it hurt to go that way? Do you investigate the city in the distance? Yes, because unfortunately mirages can be real here. You slog through the shifting sands for a long time, not really seeming to get that close. Just when you're about to give up, you crest a large dune and come upon the walls of the city you saw before. It is definitely not a mirage. There are sandstone walls at least 50 feet tall, ringing the entire settlement. The only entrance you can see is a huge gate with thick wooden doors. The entrance appears to be guarded by a female gray fox who's more busy sipping on something from a bottle than watching the desert. As if detecting your thoughts, she drops the bottle and pulls out a halberd much longer than she is tall. "Hold it," barks the fox, her gray fur bristling in suspicion at your sudden appearance. "What's your business in the city of Teladre?" You shrug and explain you know nothing about this town. You just found it while exploring the desert. The girl stares at you skeptically for a moment, then blows a shrill whistle. She orders, "No sudden moves." Deciding you've nothing to lose by complying, you stand there, awaiting whatever reinforcements this cute vulpine girl has summoned. Within a minute, a relatively large-chested centaurus emerges from a smaller door cut into the gate, holding a massive bow with an arrow already nocked. "What's the problem, Urta? A demon make it through the barrier?" asks the imposing horsewoman. Urta the fox shakes her head, replying, I don't think so, Edrin. She's something else. We should use the crystal and see if she's fit to be allowed entry into Teladre. You watch the big centaur cautiously as she pulls out a pendant and approaches you. Hold still, she says. This will do you no harm. She places one hand on your shoulder and holds the crystal in another. Her eyes close, but her brow knits as she focuses on something. The crystal shines a pale white light. Edrin steps back and smiles broadly at you and says, You've yet to be ruined by the demonic taint that suffuses the land of Mareth. Come, you may enter our city walls and find safety here, though only so long as the Covenant's white magic protects us from demons, lapdogs. The vixen Urta gestures toward the smaller door and asks, Would you like a tour of Teladre, newcomer? You remember your etiquette and nod. Thankful to have a quick introduction to such a new place. Urta leaves Edrin to watch the gate and leads you inside. You notice her gait is a bit odd, and her fluffy foxtail seems to be permanently wrapped around her right leg. The door closes behind you easily as you step into the city of Teladre. Urta leads you into the streets of Teladre, giving you a brief rundown of her and her city. You see, about 2 decades back, the demons were chewing their way through every settlement and civilization in Mareth. The convent, a group of powerful magic users, realized direct confrontation was doomed to fail. They hid us in the desert with their magic, and the demons can't corrupt what they can't find, so we're safe, for now. The two of you find yourselves in the center of a busy intersection. Urta explains that this is the main square of the city, and that, although the city is large, a goodly portion of it remains empty. Much of the population left to assist other settlements in resisting the demons and was lost. She brushes a lock of stray hair from her eye and guides you down the road, making sure to point out her favorite pub, the Wet Bitch. You blush at the rather suggestive name as Urta turns around and says, With how things are, we've all gotten a lot more comfortable with our sexuality. I hope it doesn't bother you. A bit further on, you're shown a piercing parlor, apparently another favorite of Urta's. A cute human girl with cat-like ears peeks out the front and gives you a friendly wave. It's so strange to see so many people together in one place doing things other than fucking. The whole thing makes you miss your hometown more than ever. Tears come up to your eyes unbidden, and you wipe them away, glad to at least have one reminder of normalcy. Urta politely pretends not to notice, though the tail she keeps wrapped around her leg twitches as she wraps up the tour. She gives you a friendly punch on the shoulder and says, Okay, gotta go. Be good and stay out of trouble, alright? Before you can answer, she's taken off back to the street, probably stopping off at the Wet Bitch for a drink. Strange, her departure was rather sudden. Teladre is a massive city, though most of its inhabitants tend to hang around the front few city blocks. It seems the fall of Mareth did not leave the city of Teladre totally unscathed. A massive tower rises in the center of the city, shimmering oddly. From what you overhear in the streets, the convent's magic users slave away in that tower, working to keep the city veiled from outside dangers. There does not seem to be a way to get into the unused portions of the city, but you'll keep your eyes open. A sign depicting a hermaphroditic centaur covered in piercings hangs in front of one of the sandstone buildings. A bright pink lettering declares it the piercing studio. You glance over to see the wooden facade of Urta's favorite bar, the Wet Bitch. How strange that those would be what she talks about during the tour. In any event, you can also spot some kind of wolfman banging away on an anvil in a blacksmith stand. A foppishly dressed dog man with large floppy ears seems to be running some kind of pawn shop in his stand. Steam boils from the top of a dome-shaped structure near the far end of the street, and simple lettering painted on the dome proclaims it to be a bakery. Perhaps those shops will be interesting as well. Okay then. So let's check out the bakery. Don't want to spend any money. Um, a cute human girl moves from table to table, bussing the empty ones and serving drinks to the occupied. She's pretty flat-chested and wears a pink and white frilly waitress uniform with an apron. When she turns her back to you, you can tell she's not entirely human, what with the long red spaded tail coming out from under her dress. You take a seat at the table, and within seconds the young girl is at your side. She hooks a finger around her ear, pulling her short black hair back and wedging a pencil behind the ear. Smoothing down the front of her pink and white waitress uniform, she gives you a chipper smile. "Hey, hon, welcome to Taladre Bakery. I'm Ruby," she says, giving a little curtsy. "If you want any pastries or anything, just head up to the counter and they'll take care of you. If you need anything to drink, milk, tea, or coffee, just flag me down and I'll be happy to help. Our milk goes excellently with the cookies and brownies, and we get it fresh every day. We can serve it warm or cold, however you want. We have several fine teas and coffees available as well. They just help melt the stress away. Anyway, here's a list of what we have today." She hands you a small paper menu, and you take note of her perfectly manicured nails, painted pastel blue. "Give me a shout if you need anything," she says, and heads off to give the same speech to another table, her black heels clicking on the stone floor with wonderful tack-tack noises. You look over the menu. "What do you want?" "I don't want to spend any money, so I'm going to check." You decide not to order anything to drink, instead taking the chance to talk with your waitress, Ruby, whenever she's available. You talk of pleasant but inconsequential things. Ruby talks of growing in a town far away, an actual human village, which was later raided by demons. She lived off the land for a while, drinking down one too many bottles of mysterious milk which gave her the tail she now possesses. She eventually found Taladre and was taken in by a kindly trio of ferret morphs. She talks wistfully of home, her green eyes shimmer with a faraway look for a moment before she snaps back to reality. Excusing herself, she moves to attend to other tables. You decide this is a good time to head back to camp as well. Okay.